Okay, moving on to question 7. Okay, last two multiple choice ones. Seesaw on the right is balanced on a pivot. Calculate the force that must be applied to the left of the pivot to cause the seesaw to be balanced. Well, balancing is to do with moments. Okay, and moments is the force times the distance perpendicular to the force. Okay, which means at 90 degrees to the force. Okay, look at the clockwise moments. First, we have 38 times 1.82 meters. And that is 38 times 1.82, which is 69.16. And it's going to be newtons times meters, so that's going to be Newton meters. Don't really need that for the moment, but we'll just put it in for now. So that's our turning effect, our moment, clockwise. Now I need to find anti-clockwise. And the turning effect is this one. Okay, it is F times 0.81. Okay, but that has to be the same, just in the other direction, as this. So that has to be also 69.16. That means that if F times 0.81 is 69.16, to find F, if I divide both sides by 0.81, I'll get F times 1 equals 69.16 divided by 0.81. Let's do that. 69.16 divided by 0.81 equals, and it says 85.3827 blah, bits and pieces. Okay, the nearest is C. Okay, they've just rounded it to 2 significant figures. Okay, a couple of quick things that you could check. Firstly, because this force is closer to the pivot than this one, to make them balance, if it's close to the pivot, it has to be a bigger force. So it has to be bigger than 38. Okay, bigger than 38. So 17 was already out of the running. You could tell it wasn't going to be 17 without even looking. 56 it could have been. 139 is nearly 3 times as much as that. So it would have to be a third as far away from the pivot. And it's not. It's closer to being about halfway. Okay, so it should be more like around twice as big. And then 85 is about twice as big. Okay, so that's just a quick check. Okay, last one of the multiple choice. A 0.26 kilograms, that is mass, hockey ball is moving at 13.15 meters per second. That's its speed. If they told you which way it's moving, that would be its velocity. Which letter shows the amount of kinetic energy that the ball has given to an appropriate number of significant figures? Right, let's stop and think first. Let's have a look at all these answers. 20, 22, 22.5 and 22.48 are all pretty much the same number, just given to lots of different amounts of significant figures. So we can guess this one without even doing the calculation. We're really looking for significant figures, and we should match whichever one of these has got the least significant figures. Well, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 significant figures. That's 4 sig fig. And this one, well, the 0 at the beginning doesn't count. 2 and the 6 count, so that's 2 significant figures. 2 sig fig. So the one that's got the least significant figures is the mass, and it's 2. So our answer should match 2 significant figures. Let's see, we've got, well, difficult to say, but 1 significant figure. That's 2 significant figures. That's 3, and that's 4. So the one that matches is actually B. So that's our guess without even doing a calculation. Should we just do the calculation anyway? Okay. So it says the amount of kinetic energy. We need to find our equation for kinetic energy. Okay, let's look for it. Kinetic energy is half the mass times the velocity squared. So let's put that in. KE equals half times mass times the velocity squared, or the speed squared. And that is half times the mass, which is 0.26 kilograms, times the speed, but squared, 13.15 squared. Okay, and let's do that on the calculator. Where have we got that from? So I've got half, and I'm going to do that as 0.5, times 0.26, times, and then I'm going to do 13.15 squared. Okay, and my answer for that is 22.479925, which is 22.48. So it's this one, but it's also this one, and it's also this one if I round it, and it's also this one if I round it. So they're all the same number, just at different numbers of significant figures. So our answer, just because of the significant figures, is this one. It's worth checking for something like this. If you read the question and find that all the answers are the same except for significant figures, then just look at the significant figures. I did that, I got that answer without doing this calculation.